Hey, I'm Molly Thomas. Welcome to the first episode of Big If True, a show that asks what's real and what's not. Our show dives into everything from misinformation and disinformation, hoaxes to conspiracy theories, just trying to wade through the flood of falsehoods out there. And there's a lot. We are inundated with information. Get this, each and every minute, 3.5 billion snaps are created, 625 million videos are viewed on TikTok, 44 million people watch Facebook live streams, and more than 16 million text messages are sent. That's every 60 seconds. So it's no surprise that not all of that information can be trusted, but we are here to get you through it, and we are not doing it alone. We have a team of experts across Canada and around the world helping us navigate that noise. One of the leading experts in this space is a Canadian, Craig Silverman. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Craig is a reporter at the investigative news organization ProPublica. Okay, Craig, you actually coined the term fake news. Most people think that was Donald Trump. It wasn't. It was you. But you don't use that term anymore.
I don't. When I first started using it, it was to refer to a very specific type of, totally false information made to look like a news article. So it was fake news. But over time, Trump and others kind of co-opted it, and I felt like it lost its meaning and any precision, so it's not something that I tend to use now.
Okay, we'll be careful how we use it in our show. I want to ask about the difference between misinformation and disinformation, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there.
Yeah, I mean, the terms can be confusing, and so typically what people sort of put as the key difference between them is intent. So misinformation is when false or misleading information is shared, but people don't know that it is false or misleading. So they genuinely think it's true, they genuinely think it's helpful, they pass it along.
So from tweeting something, resharing something, all of that.
Yeah, it resonates with you, you pass it along, you tell it to a friend. That's misinformation, probably the most common type of the two. And then disinformation is where the intent is there. The person creates or consciously spreads false or misleading information. They know that it is false or misleading. And so often the dynamic is it starts as disinformation, but as well-meaning people encounter it, they might believe it, they might pass it along, and then the misinformation tends to spread even farther.
Okay, important tips. Craig, you will be back with us.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about elections and lots to come up there, but in the meantime, it may feel like disinformation is a new problem, but it actually dates back to our earliest recorded history. Let's take a look at how we got here. Let's start in ancient Rome. Octavian was the adopted heir to Caesar's throne, but he didn't want Caesar's favorite general getting in his way. So he launched a salacious smear campaign, making sure Mark Antony's affair with the Queen of Egypt was viewed as treason. Politicians use similar tactics today, like when former President Barack Obama was unfairly questioned about being born in America. Smear campaigns come from all political stripes. In 1144, Norwich, England was the epicenter of a horrific lie that Jews used the blood of Christian children in Passover rituals. These baseless accusations led to brutal attacks against the Jewish community. This dehumanizing language has been used against Jews throughout history, including during the Holocaust, where 6 million were killed. Let's go back to 1692 and the Salem witch trials. Ordinary citizens were accused of witchcraft, tried, and then put to death. Some were simply victims of personal grudges or attempts to seize land. This frenzy of false accusations had real life and death consequences. Today, those pitchforks have been replaced with keyboards. Pizzagate, anyone? A debunked conspiracy theory falsely linking politicians to child trafficking. Moving on. As newspapers spread, so did sensationalism. In the late 1800s, 2 New York newspapers competed for readers' attention with salacious copy and exaggerated headlines. This was dubbed yellow journalism, the print equivalent of clickbait. By the early 20th century, marketing strategies were swaying public opinion in new ways. In 1929, Edward Bernays, the father of PR, paid attractive women to smoke cigarettes while marching down Fifth Avenue in New York's Easter Parade. This Torches of Freedom publicity stunt positioned smoking as a symbol of equality during the first wave of feminism. But it was really a ploy by the American Tobacco Company to sell to a new market. Think of all the femvertising or purple washing influencers use today. The Cold War dominated headlines in the 80s, with the Soviet Union launching a global disinformation offensive, at one point falsely claiming that HIV/AIDS was a US biological weapon engineered to target minority populations. Russian state media propagated these lies, igniting conspiracy theories about the origins of the virus. Any of that sound familiar from the past few years? When social media took off in the early 2000s, misinformation, now also in the hands of ordinary citizens, got a turbo boost. Rumors and fake news now had mega platforms, turning social media like Facebook and Twitter into a hotbed of havoc and confusion. And while some controls have been introduced, it's really the Wild West out there.